recording, but okay. I did turn off the beep in the shell, but I didn't know how to turn off the beep in Interlisp. And I still don't know a good way to do this, but I know a very ugly way to do this. So first I want to correct something. Well, in the past I thought this was like some kind of hack because it says chat. I thought you're supposed to chat with people, but chat means communicate with the host OS. So when you choose shell, that chat's not to talk to people. That chat's to talk to whatever machine Interlisp is running on, whatever host OS, I guess you could say. So I'm going to cd into my home directory, and then here, there's probably a bash rc, and I want to correct something in the last video, because I did it correct, but when I saved the file, I put a lowercase q, which sometimes was still beeping when I was using less as a pager, so I just switched it to capital Q like I did in the command line, and then now I have no more beeps whenever I'm inside the shell over here. But we still have beeps over here in Interlisp, and I'm sure there's a flag or some easy way in your inet file or some way to turn this on. And I really haven't even looked at my inet file yet to see if there's something inside here, but I won't worry about that because I haven't looked at it. I'm going to leave that open. So what I'm going to do is, well, first off, let's just see. Here's a beep. So beep on. So 3, 2, 1, beep. Okay. I should have said there was going to be a beep in 3, 2, 1, so you knew not to blast your ears if it's too loud. So we have a beep. And sometimes, like if I try to save a file and then I type yes instead of just hitting Y, it'll start beeping at me. And I want to say, if I was to say like defun cow moo, let's say. Now notice right here it's popping up with dwim. And if I was to hit a delete key, so there's going to be a beep in 3, 2, 1, beep. So I hit the delete key and there's a beep there. So I don't want that beep there. So I'm going to hit N, because if I hit Control D, it's going to switch me to the common Lisp REPL for some reason. I don't know how to switch back very easily. And then there's another type of beep right here, which won't actually beep, it's a visual beep. So if I just hit the delete key, I'm getting a visual beep. So I found out about apropos. And so if I say apropos beep, it's going to show some places where we get a beep. And yes, this is the ugly way to do it. So I'm going to say df, and first off, beep on is the one that's making noise. So I want to edit this. Now when I hit Y, sometimes, I think on this file, it's going to pop up in the debugger, but I'm just going to hit Control D here. And then I'm just going to redo that same thing. I know Larry's cringing right now. I'm sure he's horrified by all my videos, or at least someone on the Interlisp team. And so right here, it's showing different types, and my echo is the one that this is running on. So I'm just going to come over here and hit delete twice, and I'm going to say nil, nil, and Control X to save that. Now if I come back over here, let's say if I was to say like redo 7, oh, that was to edit. Sorry, I can't see what that other one was over there. Let me try to do a defun taco. And then now, if I hit the delete key, notice my Interlisp beeps are now gone. So I'm gonna hit no there. And then I also want a df beep. Df beep is the visual blinker. This one doesn't error out when I say yes. So I'm gonna hit Y for yes. And now I'm gonna edit this file. And then right here is, so I could change this to, let's say like 20. If I hit Control X to save that and come over here and hit a delete key, notice that the blink still seems the same length. So let me change this to 10. You might not be able to see, so let me try 12. And then if I come over here and do this again, did I not save that? I did, right? So I don't know. I was just saving it to 10. So I was seeing the beeps barely there. Although it's not really making it barely there. So I'm gonna hit 0 here. Control X to save that. And then now it's gone. So you can make that beep longer or shorter, which it didn't. This time it didn't seem to be going too much faster, but maybe because I didn't have it big enough. I won't worry about that because I just wanted those things gone. Now the catch here is that if I run files now, look at all the stuff that has changed. So I have no idea by doing that if I could now have a bug if I was to save this stuff. So I'm just not gonna tell it anything. I'm gonna hit no here. And my beeps are gone. The catch here is now, if I was to log out, well, first off, when you log out, I'm pretty sure it does a save VM. So when I run a save VM, well, first off, let's look at this. This file right here was edited by BVM, not sure who that is, in 83. So since 83, that's been like that. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one. Now I'll leave this one open. But notice that this one was edited by Larry in 88. And then now I just edited this. That's me, so I edit it now. Okay, so I'm gonna switch over here now and see where I'm at. And I'm in Medley, so if I was to say cdil and ls here, then if I was to go into vmem, so if I say cd vmem and then ls here, whenever you, let me see how this works. I want to say whenever you say start off on my last session, this is the session that it's going to start running in, right? And every time I log out, it runs save VM, so it's always going to overwrite this file. So what I want to do over here is just to copy this file. So I'm going to say copy list VM to list VM no beep, let's say. No beep. All right. And, well, you know what? I didn't save my VM, so that wasn't what I want to do. So I have to say save VM first, sorry. All right. Save VM, not save M. So save VM. And now that just saved this. So if I was to ls this and do like a ls minus ALH, let's say, so we can see when it was saved. So it's just saved. Now I want to copy that file to no beep. Okay. Then if I was to say log out and then log back in with the thing saying continue the last session, it's going to load this. But if I ever didn't do that, the next time I log out, it's going to overwrite that file. So that's why I saved that one there. It's just one way to back this up. Now, the other way to back this up is if I was to say save, no, sysout file name maybe, sysout, let me move my cursor, sysout file, I think. So right here you see it's saying work. So if I just say sysout and don't put any parameters or whatever, it just wrote this to work.sysout. And what I want to copy this now to is it online.sysout. So I need a cd cd right here and ls, and then there's a sysout right here, right? Notice the work file is right here, and then if I ls sysout, then what this is going to write to is online.sysout. So what I want to do now is to like copy work.sysout to sysout slash, oops, sysout, if I could type, sysout slash online.sysout. That file's not there by default. I had made that earlier. So now there's two different ways I can get to my file. So notice my beeps are gone. My visual beep's gone also. So if I type log out right here, there's two ways I can get this back. One is if I say resume session, it's going to be right where I was. But now that if I run this right here, then my beeps are going to be back, which is probably what you want. So that right there is always going to create like a fresh Interlisp. And I won't do the beeps, but you can see the visual beeps here. And notice it is a lot longer actually. So I'm going to log back out. Do I want to log back out right now? Yes, I do. So I'm going to log out. So there's two ways I can do this. One is to run a custom sysout script. And if you click this check mark right here, then this is how I found out where it was going to run from. So since I ran that, it's going to run the one that saved as work, and I moved it over to online.sysout. So now if I run this, my beeps will be gone because I checked that button. It's not going to use the default fresh full.sysout, I think is what it's called. Full.sysout, probably going to be lowercase, but I don't know. And then notice right here, if I hit delete, those are gone. Now, if I was to log out here, it's going to save the VM. And then now if I uncheck this and I run this fresh one, my beeps are going to be back. And that's running. Yeah, I want to do this. I know it's kind of tacky to log in and log out every time, but it is pretty quick, thank goodness. So now my visual beeps back. So I'm going to log out one more time. I already saw how to do this one way. I'm just showing that there's two different files you can mess with. And then another way to mess with this would be, now if I say resume session, it's going to resume that vmem file that's no longer the one I want. So I'm going to come over here and just start a terminal session. And so I'll just come in here. I think this is probably TWM or something. And then if I was to say ls, and now if I vmem into cd into the vmem, and then now right here, if I was to, I'm just going to copy that so it stayed there, right? So if I copy the new beep to this, and now I exit, now I can say resume, and it's going to resume from that vmem that I had copied over. So I don't know, the point of this is there's two different files. One is a sysout file that you can load, and the other one is the last session. And so you see I'm still over here, and in these files, everything's still open the way it was. And then, of course, my beeps are still gone. Now I know there's probably an inet flag or like a flag somewhere to turn these beeps off rather than come in over here. Because still, the ugly thing about this is, if I was to type files, question mark, it still has all this stuff. And right now I don't want to, like, I haven't tried writing over these just to see what happens or whatever. So I'm just going to hit no, and it'll get me out of there. I'll have to play with that stuff more, but this was just more about how would I turn the beep off, even though I don't know how to turn the beep off, like in a convenient type of way. And also this is cool because these are functions that were compiled that I didn't have the source code to until it, came over here and undid that and gave me this stuff back. And one of them was from 83 and the other one right here is from 88. And yeah, I know, Larry, you of all people are probably cringing every time I make one of these videos. But I don't know, until someone else starts making videos, I'm just going to keep playing around every once in a while. I log in here once a week or something and play with it a little bit. Hopefully one day they'll make some videos of the proper way to do stuff. Ribbit.